starting over and starting fresh as we jump into this week's bit of news, or today's bit of news, not this week's. And it starts with a lot of updates on talent that have been gone for a bit. Let's get the easiest bit of news out of the way first, as Matt Riddle was taken out of action, or seemingly taken out of action, this past Monday night on Raw due to a brutal attack from Solo Sikoa. And a lot of people question, is it just, storyline, whatever the case is. Apparently Matt Riddle will be out of action for the next 6 weeks, so he will be out of action returning to action likely just in time for the Royal Rumble. But I don't know that it's an actual injury and not just them writing him off television for the time being, or whatever the case may be. But the fact of the matter is, either way, Matt Riddle will be gone from TV for the next 6 weeks, which it goes back to an old saying of, how are you going to miss me if I never go away? If this is something that we can get every now and again from Triple H, where we have people who have been featured in prominent positions, given breaks here, there, and sometimes, just to give us a little bit of a break from said talent, that would be a welcome change from the Vince McMahon regime, which really didn't give us any breaks from anybody, even if the talent could use a break and a refresh. Even if it's something like them going down to NXT for a few months and then coming back, like I thought we were going to see from R-Truth, who unfortunately got hurt. But Matt Riddle is going to be on the shelf for 6 weeks. It's unclear if it's an injury or just him getting some time off away from television. But what we do know is it is a needed and necessitated day off or time off for Matt Riddle, and it made Solo Sikoa look like a killer due to the brutality of the attack and a continuation of Solo coming into his own as a part of the main roster, and in my opinion, still the one member of the bloodline that is still developing and will need time to move forward, because you never know where the bloodline's going to go after WrestleMania and after Roman drops the belts. So you don't know what's going to happen to the bloodline. But the more stability and the more of a foundation they develop for Solo Sikoa between now and then, the better off he will be once the bloodline does go their separate ways. And an update on the guy in the ring, or one of the guys in the ring, that being Bobby Roode, who has been on the shelf for most of 2022, and we found out why. The reason why is, unfortunately, Bobby Roode had neck fusion surgery recently and is projected to miss between 6 and 14 months due to the neck fusion surgery, or due to the fusion surgery, depending on the surgery that he got. That will extend the timetable, or determine the timetable that Roode is on the shelf, which is unfortunate because a lot of fans expected Bobby Roode to be, I guess, more featured as a member of Triple H's WWE, based on how prominently and well booked he was down in NXT. So it is unfortunate for Bobby Roode that he had such a severe injury happen. Number one, and it happened to a guy like Bobby Roode, who would have been an asset to WWE in the Triple H regime. But the fact of the matter is, I do hope the best for Bobby Roode in the future, because, again, he still could be an asset to WWE. It is just a matter of him coming back and being healthy and being able to be that asset we all know he can be. Speaking of somebody coming back and being an asset to WWE, that being the guy who got injured at Hell in a Cell and still competed in what is probably the most amazing sight that we've ever seen. I mean, I think, dare I say, it is by far one of the most amazing sights I've seen in nearly 25 years of being a wrestling fan, when Cody Rhodes was sitting there in disrobed at Hell in a Cell to reveal his purple arm. Like it's a sight that I've never seen, and still am fascinated by to this day. It's incredible. You know, it's incredible that Cody was able to do that and rough it through that match like he was, or like he did. It is insane. But we did get an update, and Cody Rhodes is projected to be returning to WWE in early 2023. There is still no official timetable, but what we do know is Cody is projected to be coming back in early 2023. So the idea of him being the one to not only win the Royal Rumble, but dethrone the Tribal Chief is still a legitimate possibility for early 2023, and everybody's projected WrestleMania card. And speaking of projected WrestleMania cards, there is a possibility that we may have found out there is a rumor that Roman Reigns may compete at both days of WrestleMania, one day against The Rock and one day against the Royal Rumble winner, which is something I spoke about in my way too early predictions for WrestleMania 39. But I think everything is heavily dependent on the idea of if The Rock is capable of competing at WrestleMania, or if The Rock is going to be busy doing a movie or whatever The Rock does, because right now it does seem like John Cena will not be able to be featured at WrestleMania because John Cena will be off at that time filming a movie in Australia in February and March. So it is entirely possible that John Cena will not be able to be at WrestleMania. But we should get an update on John Cena's WrestleMania status when John Cena does return at the end of 2022 for an episode of SmackDown. It is unclear what Cena will be doing, but I also would like to point out the fact that Cena will be returning on an episode of SmackDown may discount the idea of Cena against Austin Theory at WrestleMania like the rumors have had, but it doesn't discount the possibility of Logan Paul against John Cena at WrestleMania, because if you remember, the last we saw Logan Paul, he was a featured member of the SmackDown roster going against the Tribal Chief at Crown Jewel. So it is a possibility we could see Logan Paul and John Cena interact in some way if Logan is up to being featured, but I doubt Logan will be featured on WWE programming anytime soon, knowing that he is still rehabbing from his torn MCL. But I also just want to mention before I forget that, again, tonight, the last two pay-per-views of 2022 will take place. Final Battle and NXT Deadline, both taking place tonight, December the 10th, as the final two pay-per-views of 2022 are gracing our presence with the top matches from Final Battle being the Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho, which is still a fascinating fact that the Ocho became the Ocho by becoming Ring of Honor World Champion. And if Claudio Castagnoli loses, then Claudio will join the JAS. And also announced on Dynamite, FTR will fight the Briscoes in what is the third match of the series of matches that have taken place in the course of 2022. But this match is a dog collar match. So if you are looking for brutality, then you will see it tonight at Final Battle with the Briscoes and FTR. And also tonight is NXT Deadline with the Iron Survivor Challenge matches and Apollo Crews versus Braun Breaker for the NXT World Championship. For a full breakdown, stay tuned later today for the NXT Deadline and Ring of Honor predictions as both videos will be separate. But we also got a bit more news to get to, so stay tuned for that as well. With that being said, though, let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on anything and everything that I talked about in this video. And feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, because any and all interactions are more than appreciated. They do help us with the algorithm and get noticed for more people to be able to watch the videos. With that being said, do not forget to ding dong the notification bell to always know when a new video is up on the channel. And I will see you again soon.